everyone, I'm Danny Baker with Marshall Goldman. Today we're driving a 2015 Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT with manual transmission. This one's black on black. It's got some really cool silver striping on the sides. Inside here, there's a lot going on. Really well built English car. Black piano wood, black leather, red stitching, perforated leather, Alcantara on the gauge cluster pod, Alcantara on the A-pillar, the roof, black piano wood over here, some billet aluminum trim down here, some more here. Check out those I don't know what you're going to call them, but cross braces in the back C-pillars. That kind of goes to the next thing I'm going to talk about. This is a nice chassis. It's a fairly stiff car, still rides nice, but as we get going and driving this car a little bit, you're going to notice that it's really flat. It handles really well. It's balanced really nicely. In this trim, it produces 430 horsepower, rear-wheel drive. To me, this is just kind of how sports cars should be. And it's fairly modern. You know, this is a fairly late model V8 Aston Martin with a manual transmission. Not many manufacturers are making front engine V8 cars, manual transmission today. So we thought we would highlight this car and talk about why we believe it's such a great value. What can you get for 80 grand, 90 grand? Modern car, reliable, modern conveniences. I gotta have a rear view camera. It's something that's important to me on a car. I like to have air conditioning that is that works and the car doesn't overheat. So that kind of eliminates a bunch of cars in the 80s. I like to have power seats. That's just, when I get in a car, if it's not a race car, I simply want to be comfortable and have fun at the same time. So for a car to check all those boxes and still, in my opinion, be a good value, this is a really, really good option. This one's priced at, what did we say? $79,900. $79,900, 2015, 4,200 miles. We're bouncing around a little bit here. This is a pretty rough section of the highway, but it's not jarring. To me, it feels like a proper sports car chassis, real well sorted, balanced, and flat. It's kind of an all-business cockpit. You've got everything right in the middle here. I kind of like how Aston Martin has always put the seat controls on a lot of their cars in the middle. It's just easier to get to. It has the original window sticker. I think the MSRP is like $119,700, call it 120 grand new, just a few years old. Now we're looking at it at $79,900, $40,000 adjustment. That's pretty good. Let's try the brakes. There we go. Now I'm in it. Okay, so now I'm getting the hang of it a little bit. I actually really like the pedal box in this car. It's super easy to heel toe, and it's like Kenan said earlier, it's a short throw, but the gears are wide enough apart that you can kind of shift it quick and not miss a gear. Kind of feel that the car is just, we don't get a lot of crazy pitch or dive or body roll.
It's flat. Right?
It's, yeah, a real flat chassis.
You've driven a lot of cars. What sort of cars does this compare to? What sort of driving experience for the money do you think it compares to?
That's a great question. I don't know. It's kind of like a Corvette with a whole lot more personality and class. I like small cars. It's, I race in the Ferrari Challenge Series and drive a 720 horsepower 48 Challenge car that to me is a big, fat, sloppy pig with way too much horsepower. I've even said multiple times to Ferrari and guys in the series, give me a car with 200 less horsepower, but give me a car that's 500 pounds less, and I'll have a lot more fun with it and a whole lot of downforce. So with this Aston Martin V8, 430 horsepower, it's the right amount of horsepower. The car's weight, I don't know what it weighs. I'm guessing it's between 33 and 3,500 pounds. But the way it all comes together, it feels really, really nice. That's something that's so important about buying a car that I think a lot of people just miss or get wrong. They go off of statistics and everything that the magazines say. But what's really important is, how does the car make you feel? And how do you feel when you're driving the car? A car like this, it may not have been something that was really on my radar as, hey, if I'm gonna spend 80 grand, I'm gonna spend it on an Aston Martin V8. But we talked about it in the office a little bit. I got behind the wheel and I'm having a blast. I'm really liking this car. And it may not have been something that on paper would have been my first choice. Certainly there's cars that you can get with a lot more horsepower. I wouldn't be happy driving a modern Corvette, even if it had 600 horsepower and weighed less than this, because the car just feels cheap and dingy to me. The point is, again, it all comes down to, how does the car make you feel when you drive it? That to me is the most important thing, and I really like how this car makes me feel. All right guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We're going to try and come at you with some more videos like this. We appreciate your feedback, so hit us up in the comments, and have a great day. Or take it easy here on the launch. We got Cleveland's finest here giving us the ride away.